Now Janet Horne was very unfortunate, as she was accused of the practice of witchcraft. Janet Horne was an elderly lady, and not only was she accused, but her daughter was accused as well. But Sheriff David Ross is the one played the accuser, if you like. But in particular, it was baited by her neighbours. Her neighbours accused her of witchcraft. Now, one of the things they accused her of was riding her daughter like a pony to go and see the devil. Now, it might seem surreal, but it actually stuck in a load of court back in 1727. And as a result, they were both charged for witchcraft, and they were both was sentenced to death. Fortunate for the daughter, she managed to escape. But Janet Horne herself came to a bitter end. And like I say, we're going to reenact this story. And the way we're going to reenact this story is with this here device. You see, Janet Horne's hand was placed into a vice, and her hand was crushed. She was stripped of her clothing, she was tortured hideously, and to a point she was forced to confess to the practice of witchcraft. So we're going to react this story, and the way we're going to do this is I'm going to use this here pack of tarot cards. I've got a pack of tarot cards right here, and they're a beautiful pack of cards, and this is one of them. And we've also got this here trap. I'm going to show you how this works. So like I say, her fingers were crushed in a vice. So I want you to imagine that this is actually the fingers of Janet Horne placed inside this here trap. As you can see, not a pretty picture at all. Now we're going to do that again with a slight twist. We're going to be using these here cards. Now these cards are going to represent yourselves, Janet Horne, and I'm going to play the part of the accuser. The sheriff, if you like. See, the sheriff not only was an accuser, he was actually a judge as well. I know it can't get worse than this. It's like a reflection of modern times, don't you think? He was the judge as well. And it was a really short trial. So I'm going to go for these cards, and you are going to play the part of the community. Now I know some of you, all of us, would not want to see the story outplayed, but for the sake of the story, I want you also to be accuser. I'm right there, and we're gonna find one of these cards right in the middle of it. I've got one card right there, and this, folks, is going to be the accused. Oh, perfect. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, in that sense, is a really powerful card. The sword in itself represents the element of air, as we talked in previous episodes. And in this story, it's going to represent Janet Horne. Just a point out that Janet was a name that was often associated to a practitioner of witchcraft here in Scotland. And yes, this story is based in Scotland, and no, actually it couldn't be a better place for me to be right now, up in Edinburgh, telling you this tale. Janet Horne, on this occasion, was now being accused of witchcraft. When they stripped her of her clothing, not only did they torture her, they looked upon her person for what they call a blemish. To represent this blemish, I'm using this. I'm going to place it on her torso. If you like, a mole or some sort of marking. And it was a way of affirming yet even more daft, hideous accusations. The truth is, Janet Horne, in that sense, we don't know what her real name, first name is. We know her name is Horne. So in that sense, Horne was now stripped, and there it was. They found a blemish, like anybody would. You know, a blemish upon the body. So natural and normal. And now she was in the heart of her community. In the heart of the community that she loved and she trusted. And there, lost amongst her loved ones. Her neighbours accusing her, bounding her, and surrendering her to a system that was so obviously rigged. What chance did she have? None at all. Naomi, playing the part of the accuser. I'm going to rip through the community and stir them up. I'm going to pluck out one individual. And in this case, if it happens to be the right card, that will summarize my case, and it will be guilty as charged. And I will say this is rather dangerous. I'm going to ripple through, stir up the community. For sure there are people right there who normally shout out and call out, or wanting to call out, but they can't. They're there. They're all part of. There is a glimmer of hope. But Janet Horne, daughter, was aided to escape. So those who remained active, knowing a bad deed was being done. There is always hope, folks. But in this case, Janet Horne had no chance. Here we go. Janet Horne, 1727. Guilty as charged. She was further right then stripped, naked. She was tarred, which is a rare case even for Scotland back then. They tarred her. They put her in a barrel and they paraded her through the town to a place where she would burn at the stake. 1727. Janet Horne lost her life, engulfed in flames, while her loved ones, her village, watched on. The surreal part, or if you like, the twist in this tale. It was 2 years ago that the church here in Scotland actually issued a formal apology for all those who lost their lives during the burning times here in Scotland. And to really put icing on the cake of this here story, it's Janet Horne was the last witch to lose her life in the whole of Britain. When I say the last one to lose her life legally charged. Janet Horne. That's her story. Look it up. No further ado, folks.